You have an arrangement where 1 or 2 nights a week she doesn't stay with you, right? And she knows that on them nights you're going to frequent these bars and have fun.
I'm a butterfly, which means to say I'm very happy to have more than one lady in my life.
But you said you still have sex every single day.
I'm very fortunate that I've only tried Viagra twice in my life.
What kind of girls do you normally go to? Like, are they bar girls that you would normally spend time with?
You get in Thailand what you ask for and what you're prepared to pay for.
This isn't something that's just happened later in life. You've always been sort of a very sexual person, would you say?
I came trying to get the condom on.
What's up, folks? You're on the Thairish Sun, and this week I have interview number 2 for you on the channel. Now, I actually spoke to this man for well over an hour, and so I've had to delete quite a lot of interesting stuff because this is a gentleman that spent 12 years in the army, has run marathons in under 2 hours and 40 minutes. He was married twice. He's attended 7 different Olympics all around the world. And he spent 22 years as an award-winning caddy on the professional golf tour. So he certainly had a lot of interesting stories. But knowing you guys as I do, I've decided to cut it down and stick to the stuff that relates directly to Thailand. However, if I feel like there's interest to hear the rest of the stories, and let me know in the comments if there is, then I'll happily upload a second part in the future. Now I'm here at the Ban Khun Po night market. Obviously it's the middle of the day now, which is why it's quiet, but at night time this place absolutely rammers. So if you're in Hua Hin, come to the Ban Khun Po night market, which is it's a food market, and it is on Soi 88. I want to also say that this past week I bought new microphones, and they're a hell of a lot more expensive than the ones I'd used previously, but I thought that would get me better quality, and to be fair, when they work it is better quality. However, about 20 minutes in, his one stopped working, so my bad luck with microphones continues. So the sound isn't as good as I'd hoped for. However, it really isn't all that bad. You have to remember I'm doing everything here on my own, and some mistakes are going to happen, but I am striving to make the content better with every single video, and it is free after all. So with all that said, please subscribe if you enjoyed this. We recently smashed through 1,000 subscribers and we're well on the way to 1.5k. Hopefully we can make it to that. Without any further ado, this is Thairish Sun interview 2. Enjoy.
Okay, well, my name's John Roberts, originally from Bournemouth in England, and I decided to come out here permanently November 2019, so I've been here about 2 years, 4 months already, and I'm here to stay. I decided last year to take out Thailand Elite, which gives me 20-year visa. I had to pay 1 million baht, which is, you know, probably about £24,000 or so. But I think it's a good investment because under Thai law you have to have 800,000 in the bank baht, which is about, say, getting on for £20,000 permanently in the bank. So I might as well give them 1 million baht and have a 20-year visa with no long-term complications.
So you're planning on staying here forever?
I'm here to live and die in Thailand.
Yeah.
And with the great life I have, who wants to move away?
Yeah, of course, yeah. So we're sat here on your balcony in Hua Hin. But before we get to how your life is right now, can you tell me a little bit about your early visits to Thailand, when you first came, where you used to spend time, maybe a couple of stories that stand out, what you liked about the place, what you didn't like maybe about Thailand?
I started coming to Thailand about 1985. I was fortunate enough when I was with Allied Dunbar to win about 20 holidays, all paid for by the company, and they were all in amazing places. One of them happened to be Thailand. We stayed at the Sheraton Hotel in Bangkok. I was able to take a lady, and I took a lady on that trip, and then we went to Phi Phi afterwards for 1 week. So that was memorable in itself. I fell in love with Thailand. And when I was in business, I came here, I would say most years, often around the Christmas period, because that was when I took a break from business, and my staff also had a break from business. When I started caddying, I always had clothes made in Thailand and made in Hua Hin. So even the trousers I've got on here, the shorts, and
custom made.
Yeah, and the shirt here were made in Hua Hin. I stayed in Shah Am a lot. I stayed in Phuket. I stayed in Phi Phi, as I mentioned before, 5 or 6 times probably Phi Phi. Went to Chiang Mai, Mai Hong Song, which was very nice. And in 2000, I actually went to Chiang Rai, and I met a lady there called Pai Lin. Fell in love. And to cut a long story short, a few years later, I bought 2 houses in Chiang Rai. In her name. I don't buy anything in the company name. Most Farang buy, if they've got a girlfriend here, they'll buy a property in the name of a company to protect their interests. But I was confident she wouldn't do a runner for me, and I bought the houses in her name. And then I also bought 13 Rai rice field, which is about 150 metres by 150 metres approximately, and land by the family home. And fortunately, we're still very good friends today. But Chiang Rai is much cooler morning and night in much of the year than Hua Hin. Hua Hin is very similar to Bournemouth, which is my hometown. Bournemouth, you have 10 miles of golden sand and good weather, comparatively. Hua Hin, 10 plus miles of golden sand, hot weather. So I decided Hua Hin was the place I wanted to live permanently. There are also a massive number of golf courses here as well. I don't play golf, as I said before, only caddied. But I love to go around occasionally and follow golf tournaments that are played here, or go around with friends. So for me, it's home from home, really.
Do you have 1 or 2 stories from those early visits that you think stand out? Things that could be anything.
Yeah.
Something good, something bad.
Yes, I always remember around about 85, 86 or so, I was sitting in a bar. There used to be a bar called Caddy Shack in Hua Hin. Sitting in a bar with a couple of English ladies. And you start chatting away, as you do. I've got a track record of chatting away to any lady, really. And I came out with this mosquito repellent. It was horrible stuff. It was cheap, and it smelt cheap. And they could smell this repellent on me. And they said, "Oh, God, what's that stuff? This is what we use." A mosquito repellent, it says, and everything is written in Thai. And to this day, I use this repellent. I buy it in Thailand. It's a roll-on. And here, because I've got plants there behind you, when I'm watering, it attracts mosquitoes. So I put a little bit of this on. There we are. No mosquito will go near me today.
That actually smells nice.
It smells very good, and a lot of ladies use that as a perfume, and that's why they had it. A, it works, and B, they don't put on perfume.
That wasn't planned, by the way. He didn't have that in his pocket. We didn't plan that ahead of time. That just happened to be in your pocket.
That's right, just happened to be somewhere in my pocket. There you are.
That's funny. Okay, so that brings us to the bit I'm most excited to talk about, which is your life now, today. So Let's start with a little bit about you have a girlfriend here, you've been seeing for about 2 years. Can you tell me a little bit about your the dynamics of that relationship, let's say?
Yes, I met Nooks shortly after I came here, really. Probably around about February 2020. She was selling facial products for a company called Black Pearl in a super centre here. And I'd just been to my bank, which is Quincy Bank. And their little shop was very close to Quincy Bank. And as I'm walking out of Quincy Bank, 2 ladies she was working with, who were both married, they said, "Oh, our friend's single, and she can make you look very young with these cosmetic products." So she's got hold of these, she was selling facial products, etc. She's got hold of this facial product, rubbed it on me, said, "I'll make you look really young." I was very impressed. All of a sudden I looked about 20 and not 73 as I was at the time. I liked her, but it's important to impress a lady from the start. Now, being an ex-marathon runner and still fit, I decided to take off my flip-flops, which I did, ran up and down the mall. It was about 70 metres up and 70 metres back at marathon race pace. Wow. And I came back, I wasn't even panting. She was impressed. She fell in love instantly. But I did too. And then within, I think, a few days, she'd moved in with me. And I have no regrets. I'm a butterfly, which means to say I'm very happy to have more than one lady in my life. But I care for Nooks massively, and everybody knows it. But I care for every lady I see, because they've all got to feel I want them, I care for them, from the time we're together. But the one I really love is Nooks.
But you say you're a butterfly, but you're not cheating on that, right? Because this is something you told her right from the start.
No, I told her, in fact, I told her that first time we met, when I did my run up and down, I missed the most important thing. Was not the fact I was an impressive athlete in my day, but I was a butterfly. So if she liked me, she's got to accept me as I am. And she did. John, I don't mind. I've known butterflies before and been happy. I'll love you anyway. And she does. And it's never, ever affected our relationship. And the thing is, out in Thailand, this is basically a holiday resort. We're getting back on track. And there are more and more and more tourists starting to appear now, and have been for several months. So to cater for tourists in Thailand, you need bars. And whether people like it or not, the vast majority of people who come here as a tourist want a balanced life. And that balanced life will include bar life. And many of them would like, many of these men, mostly men, would like to go with a Thai lady or more than one Thai lady while they're here. So there are a lot of ladies who are attracted to Hua Hin as a place to work, and I'm fortunate enough to be here permanently and have a fair old choice.
Now, but to keep with you and not, because you have an arrangement where 1 or 2 nights a week she doesn't stay with you, right? And she knows that on them nights you're going to frequent these bars and have fun.
Yes. It was her idea originally, not mine. I was sleeping with her 7 nights a week for the best part of the year in my apartment. She also had an apartment already, which she still has today. But of course, she had no chance really to keep it clean. do her washing, and also, of course, to see her friends in her apartment, her mates. You know, she's got some good girlfriends, nice girls, and she had no opportunity really to spend time with them in her own surroundings. So she said to me, John, do you mind if I have one night a week to myself? Well, of course, for a butterfly, this is a dream in Thailand. So I said, yes, okay. That gave me one night. And then a couple of months later, she said to me, John, would you like 2 nights? And I said to her, no, Nut, I love you so much. I'm quite happy with one night. And the thing is, I'm a Bournemouth season ticket holder. I love my football. I'm still a season ticket holder today. So the opportunity to watch Premier League football and Championship football, right now we're in the Championship, but it looks as if we're going to get promoted again to the Premier League. I'm able to watch every single game of ours, and they're either Saturday or Sunday. So Sunday's a very important day for me as well. So I was quite happy for her to have Sunday free. Then I can watch my football. Then when she said to me, would you like a second night? I said no. As I said, I'm quite happy. Just one night. But then because of football, I thought, this is crazy. I have a lady in for this night and the Monday night, usually a different lady, but there's a lady waiting for me in bed and I'm watching football. This is not good value for money. So I decided to suggest to Nut that we only had one night a week separated. So she moved in then, back in on Sundays. But then a few weeks ago she said, would you like 2 nights? And I said, yes. So we switched it now to Monday and Tuesday. She's not interested in going to bed with another man. Now she's working in a restaurant. She's been there for more than 1 year with a couple that she knows very well. That's a lovely lady and her husband, who's a senior police officer in Hua Hin. So it's a good, reputable restaurant. Nut is very popular with men. She's a bubbly person. She has fun. So although she's not interested in going to bed with men, she likes to have good fun with them. And to ensure that she doesn't feel oppressed, I don't go to the restaurant at all in the evenings. And she works between 4 and 11 or so. But very often she'll go out with her friends afterwards and they'll go down to the club, dancing, etc. And I'm quite happy for her to live that life as well. Because if I'm a butterfly and free to do what I want to do, why shouldn't she be free to do what she wants to do?
Right.
And she is. And she has a great time. She's got wonderful friends. 2 of them in particular, Mint and Tuk Tuk, fantastic ladies. They're good friends, they'll always be good friends.
Yeah.
And she loves going down, dancing with them and having fun with them. And she does go dancing to clubs. There's a club here called Panama, very well known. She loves going dancing there. And of course, guys will come down to Hua Hin for the weekend, people who work in Bangkok. Farang being, as you know, a non-Thai. And she loves going dancing with Farang. Now she's now just came on for 43. She's obviously getting a bit old, really, isn't she? Should I be training her in? No, I love her too much. She might be 32 years younger, but I love her too much. I'm not training her in. But these guys love to have fun with her when she's dancing. And she loves to have fun. And why shouldn't she? So we've got a very, very good, balanced relationship.
So you just touched on your age there. You said it's going to be 76 in a couple of weeks.
Yes.
But you told me something that I found quite impressive, and that's that, I hope you're all right with me saying this, but you said you still have sex every single day, and that you don't need any chemicals or tablets or anything to help you perform.
Virtually every day we have some form of sex. Virtually every day with my girlfriend. She loves it, I love it, but it's important she remains my number one. Mm-hmm. And I want her to know she's my number one and still feels she's number one, and she is. I'm very fortunate that I've only tried Viagra twice in my life, or 2-3 times maybe. I met a guy who was on holiday 2 years ago, and we were talking at the bar, and he was sort of maybe 65 or something like this, and he told me that he needs Viagra to keep himself up. And I said, I don't even know what a Viagra tablet looks like, and I was 73 years of age, and I can honestly tell you, I've never even seen a Viagra tablet. He said to me, you might need them one day. I said, yes, you're right, might need them, particularly if you're fortunate to have 2 or 3 ladies together, which I've done. So he said, came out of his pocket with a pack of 4 Viagra tablets, little blue tablets. I'd never seen one in my life, I didn't even know what they looked like. He gave them to me. He got his doctor in England, free, on National Health. I put them in my pocket just in case one day. I'm now on the 2nd of those tablets. I think they've been used about 2 or 3 times, just in case.
Yeah.
Because if you have 2 ladies together, my concern is I can't perform for them both. And as you get older, you can become an underachiever. I'm not yet, but one day it might happen. So I'm realistic enough to know that Viagra might help me one day. 76 on the 3rd of May, but not yet.
75 and still on the job every day. That's impressive, you know, and naturally as well. Were you always this sexually active? So, I mean, this isn't something that's just happened later in life. You've always been sort of a very sexual person, would you say?
I was actually a virgin until I was 22. Because my father once said to me, you should remain a virgin until you're married. And I always remember that in the early days. But I found it difficult in those days to communicate with ladies. These days I have no problem. But in those days I did. I was only a little bit, I'm only short now. But in those days I was very small. Didn't have the confidence to approach a girl as it would have been in those days. And then one day, a lady called Nolene, she got hold of me. When I was in the army, I used to go with a good friend of mine called Greg from Plymouth, where we stationed, down to my town of Bournemouth, and he used to stay with me every weekend. And after a few months of meeting Nolene, she could control me no longer. She was really saying, come on, we've got to go for it. So one Saturday, my parents got off shopping into the town, and I bought these condoms just in case. I'm trying to get the first one on. Remember, I've never even seen a condom until that day. I failed. I came trying to get the condom on. 22 years of age, trying to get a condom on, trying to prepare myself to fuck my girlfriend who's desperate for me. Throw it away. Get the next one. Trying to get that one on. Fuck me, I've come again. I kid you not, I'm not lying. It shows the difference between that age. I was 22 years of age, All this is over in about 2-3 minutes. Twice I've come, and all I've got thrown on the bloody floor in annoyance, 2 fucking condoms. Fortunately, I managed to get the 3rd one on.
There was still life in the boy.
There was life in the boy. Satisfied Noeline had to get washed. Shortly afterwards, Mum and Dad returned. I don't know where the condoms were put. I have no idea where they were put. I don't like to tell a lie. I can't say they were put in the bin. I don't know. But I bet Noeline knew.
So last question for you on the matter of sex and stuff, because when you go out here and you meet other ladies on your night off,
yeah.
What's the wooing procedure, let's say? Like, do you mention that you have a girlfriend, and what kind of girls do you normally go to? Like, are they bar girls that you would normally spend time with, or?
No, they're not all bar girls. I mean, there are 1 or 2 ladies that I see from time to time. They're just normal business ladies.
Do you become friends first and build up to it, or are these girls that you just say, like, let's go home tonight sort of thing? Or?
One business lady, quoting as an example, I just bumped into her, and it's, sometimes you just bump into people, which is how many couples meet. And I can't even remember, we bumped into, probably walking along the street, and sometimes, said something. I can't remember who spoke to who, but she's a business lady. People know her in the town very well, but everything's on a QT. And when I see her, she comes here in a car, jumps into my car, and off we go, away from the area. So it's all very discreet, and I like that.
Right.
She's not married, but she doesn't have sex with any other man. And people would love to know this about her private life, because they've no idea at all. And for me, that's a little dream.
Right.
As a general rule, it's a lady I've met in a bar or in a restaurant. It's a lady in a restaurant. She won't be what we call a bar lady. But you tend to meet most of these ladies in bars only because they're there to meet men, and they would like to have drink or drinks bought for them. For every drink that's you buy for them, they get 50 bahts, which in round money, in English money, is just over £1. So if they bought a total of 5 drinks that night, they would get something like about £6. 10 drinks would be something like, let's say, £12 in English money. If you really like the lady and you like to take her to bed, let's say, that night, then you pay another 300 baht to the bar, which is something like about £7.50 in English money, that sort of figure. And then you pay the lady, which could be anything between, let's say, 1,000 baht, maybe 3,000 baht, depending upon the lady. Many ladies will try and get as much as they can off every man. But I'm not gullible, and I won't fall for that. And I want a lady to like me and to want to see me again, not just to get top-end money, because I won't pay top-end money in the first place. So I'm paying what I consider is a realistic figure. And then, if they like me, which I find most ladies do, they would like me to see them again one day. And you go through the whole process again.
Yeah. So look, thanks very, very much for doing this. And unless you have another story or anything that you think you'd like to share.
Well, all I can say to anybody who's considering coming out to Thailand, it's a great country to visit. From time to time, the government changed the ground rules, and so this can be a minor complication. But wherever you live in the world, there are complications. The complications here are no greater than anywhere else really in the world. And once here, if you decide, and I'm sure many people may consider retiring to Thailand, I think there's a strong case for putting it right at the top of the list. Where I stay here, for example, cost me, in English money, £163 per month. That's the cost of renting my room, the cost of electricity, there's no gas, and the cost of water. £163 sterling per month. And the views here are absolutely stunning. I don't know if we've got what we've got in the background here.
Yeah, we can see some of the
at the hill beyond. I'm just 14-minute walk from the beach.
Yeah.
And I love keeping myself fit, so I love walking to the beach most days.
You're in a great location here. We don't want to give away too much, but I mean, everything you need is right here, right outside. It's fantastic. Yeah.
Do you want me to mention it's Soy 94?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Soy 94 really is the future of Hua Hin.
Yeah. It's taken over from Binti back completely, hasn't it? That area near the Hilton, you would have been it, and now it's here.
Just 400 metres from here, less than 400 metres probably, you've got what's called Wonderland. There are almost 25 bars in there. Mm. That's only been open for marginally over a year. They've now built another complex just 200 metres from me called Wonderland 2. There are 20 bars there. Now each of these bars has got ladies who are keen to meet men. Directly opposite me here, 15 metres from my apartment block, 15 metres, there are 4 massage shops. If you take the back entrance back here, there are 4 bars. Adjoining my car park here, behind me, there's the Calypso bar, 2 bars adjoining that. Then you've actually got a petrol station for filling up your cars or whatever. And then another 2 bars adjoining that. All this is within, and restaurants as well, of course. Yeah. And super mini Big C and 7-Eleven. All this is within 200 metres. Yeah. What more can I ask for?
And they're not just doing massages across the road either. They're the naughty massage shops, they are.
Well, you know, you get in Thailand what you ask for and what you're prepared to pay for. And the thing is, you can't ask for more, can you? For £163 per month? As a result of the problems now in Ukraine, my guess is most people will be looking at electricity gas bills for a house of something like £163 next year per month. That's just gas and electricity. My gas and electricity total cost me little over, say, £12–13 per month approximately, and the 150 is the rental cost for a 1-year contract. £13 for electricity and water with no gas, not using gas. Electricity, water, £13. And my Sky package over here, it's not Sky as such, but it's all the Sky package that you have in the UK, cost me less than £9 sterling per month. And within that I've got all Premier League, all Formula 1, all the rugby, BBC 1, BBC 2, ITV, whatever you watch in your Sky package in UK, you'll be watching on my package here. What are you paying in UK? 60, 70, 80 pounds per month or something? I pay less than £9 a month, and on my computer. I've also got an iPad. So when I travel away, I pick up the same package on my iPad for less than £9 a month. Wow. Get out to Thailand.
Thank you so much, mate.
That's a pleasure.
Yeah, cheers.
Okay.
John, thank you very much. Cheers, mate. What a character.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
All the best.
Brilliant.